Well, here we are again. I'm Susan Clark, reading from Pat Stewart's newest book called Love Stories. The next episode was about a 1964 vacation when Pat's family with 6 children and her sister Mary Ann's family with 5 children spent the summer traveling through the mountains of Tennessee. Remember, all the kids are under 10 years old. You never know what might happen when 11 kids need to go to the bathroom at the same time. This week's story is called Sanitized for Your Protection. Part 2, Connecting. Sanitized for Your Protection. The first time our 2 families vacationed together was in 1964. We convinced Mary Ann and John that a trip to the Smoky Mountains would be fun. We were new to the South, having just moved to Memphis, and none of us had been to the Smokies. They traveled from their home in Kansas City. At the time, we had 6 children and they had 5 children, all under the age of 10. With 11 kids in this age group, it was bound to be quite a trip. Our first stop was one that a newcomer should never miss. For miles while driving through Tennessee, birdhouses, barns, and billboards all shouted, "See Rock City" and "See 7 States." So our 2 station wagon loads of children pulled up to Lookout Mountain to see Rock City. Over a swinging bridge, the Fat Man Squeeze, tunnels, and narrow crevices, we crawled and climbed with this crowd. I don't think I ever did see 7 states from the lookout. What I remember most is counting heads. At every turn, I looked for all 11 kids. After about an hour of this, I decided to make a deal with Mary Ann. You keep track of yours, and I'll keep track of mine. That made the going easier. Meal stops were mainly roadside picnics, but once we gave the kids a real treat. We agreed to stop at McDonald's. The 2 dads took orders from the kids. We could not allow all 11 to crowd up to the counter and make life miserable for the clerk and us. After 15 or 20 minutes of consultation, the guys were ready to approach the counter. The 2 dads stepped up to order from notes they made on a napkin. Jack said, "I want 5 regular hamburgers, 1 without onions, 1 without tomatoes, 3 with extra pickles, 10 cheeseburgers all the way, 15 small fries, 2 chocolate shakes, 3 strawberry shakes, 5 vanilla shakes, all small, 2 root beers, all small, and 2 large coffees." It took a half an hour to get all the trays set up and sorted out. I'm still not sure everyone got exactly what they ordered, but everyone did get a meal. By late afternoon, we were ready to stop for the night and get a motel. "We need to go to the bathroom," was a chorus rising from both cars. At the first motel, Jack said, "Show us 2 rooms for these families." The children lined up to use the bathroom in one room, while John and Jack discussed prices at the front desk. "Should I take the sign off the toilet?" asked Nancy. She pointed to a paper sign wrapped around the toilet seat. It had this message, "Sanitized for your protection." We knew we had a clean, safe place. "Sure, but don't throw it away. We might need it," I said. Several children used the bathroom until Tom came out and said, "We can't flush the toilet, it's full." About this time, Jack and John came in to check the room. When they saw the overflowing toilet, they made a decision. They told the clerk, "We don't want a room where you don't keep the plumbing working." As we were leaving, I put the seat down, closed the lid, and put the paper strip back around the lid. Indeed, it was still sanitized for your protection. I couldn't resist taking the extra sign from a second bathroom, and I still have it in my writing desk. We ended up in a more sanitary place, the Dude Motel. The pool was its best feature. Today, a pool with a slide is old stuff. Water parks with real slides that twist and turn make the Dude Motels look positively tacky. But to those kids, it was a really big deal. We have a well-worn picture of all our kids beside the Indian chief in the Cherokee Indian Reservation. Today, that place is a big-time casino. Back then, it was a stand selling tacky souvenirs and boasting a chicken that could count. Once in Smoky Mountain National Park, we found traffic moving at a snail's pace. Tourists were shooting pictures of black bears who begged for handouts. In one of our old photos, we captured a bear leaning on a station wagon, looking inside at a dog passenger. Signs everywhere warned about the real danger posed. Bears will steal food from coolers, boxes, and wherever they can find anything to eat. We had a close encounter with a bear at our picnic table. Tim was carrying a bowl of beans, spilling some on the ground. We realized that a bear was following him, picking up the beans. A park ranger was right behind the bear with a stick. "That's old Joe. He's not supposed to be here. He raids the garbage, and you just gave him a free snack." Susie started crying when she saw the bear. "He isn't going to hurt anyone. The ranger made him go away," Jack told her. "I wasn't worried about that. I was afraid he'd eat all the food on our picnic table," she said. That 1964 vacation was so memorable that we planned another one. In 1972, we spent our first night at our home in Atlanta. We had 18 people sleeping in our bedrooms, the family room, and camping outside in a tent. At this point, there were 7 Stewart and 7 Glenski children. They later added an 8th child, Sarah. I generously let Mary Ann win that race. We headed for Cape Kennedy and Sanibel Island, Florida. On this trip, we toured the Kennedy Space Center and dug for exotic shells on Sanibel. The house we rented had a resident alligator named Bismarck. He managed to steal and eat the fish our kids caught. We worried about the 2 youngest, Andy and Mark, both age 3, watching the older boys fish. We didn't want them to end up like the fish. We have a special photo that was taken on the steps of Grandma Webster's house in Missouri. The occasion was Christmas, 1974. We Stewarts were on vacation from our home in France to celebrate Christmas with Grandma and cousins. Getting 15 children to sit still long enough to take a picture was a monumental task. The picture was not from a digital camera, one we could redo on the spot if it was awful. It's printed from a slide of a bygone era. I think it is the last time we all got together. We've skipped some of the more obnoxious memories. There were a few anxious moments when map reading, or lack thereof, was a problem. Some stories are best forgotten. This is a celebration in time of some of the fun we've had over the last 50 years. It may be a long time before we can get all 15 children, now adults with children of their own, together. But with those pictures, we can return to the day when we made sure the plumbing was sanitized for your protection. Not only does Pat write with a great sense of humor, she also guides her 7 children with rules during the summer break. Next week, join us for Summer Rules and see how she keeps this family in ship shape when school's out.